We see Agile everywhere we go. Black Duck is focused on enabling developers to use open source software. And we find in almost all of our customer environments, they're using Agile methods, an Agile method of one type or another. So there's a close correlation, at least, and we think a lot of synergy between using open source software in Agile environments. We're actually giving a talk here today on using open source to speed the velocity of Agile development. So there's a lot of complementarity between open source and Agile, and we think it's both together are good strategies for lowering the cost of development and increasing the velocity. Our products are all about helping developers use open source more productively. So what we do is we help developers rapidly find the right type of open source components to meet their requirements and make good decisions and make good choices about the components that they want to use. So we're all about enabling the reuse of existing code so developers don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's over 200,000 open source projects out there on the internet, and it's a ton of shovel-ready code, to kind of steal a popular term these days. So it's all about, writing less code that already exists and putting your investment into features and functions that are going to differentiate your product and really help you develop more innovative products. Our view is there's a fundamental paradigm shift going on in terms of development. Some of the attributes are, a shift to more agile methods. We have a particular angle on development around multi-source development, taking open source code, mixing it with closed source to speed development and increase innovation. And when we look at that, we see three unique problems that arise when you start using open source at scale. And when we say open source at scale, we mean some of our larger customers, like Intel, right over here, use hundreds of different types of open source components. So when we talk about using open source at scale, we're not talking about 2 or 3 components. We're talking about all the many piece parts that make up an application. That's a new paradigm. It's don't write it yourself, get code from the internet, and put your investment in those things that are going to really distinguish your products. That's a new paradigm, and that's the fundamental shift that we see. I think the economic recession, the concerns around the economy has forced a lot of belt tightening, and it's actually been good for our business. It's forcing companies to reevaluate the processes that they use. And to get development organizations to actually make process change is not easy. It takes a lot of effort to do it, and the economic climate is forcing that change. So in a weird way, it's good for our business, and overall, it's helping reinforce this shift to this multi-source development model using open source with closed source code.